Hi, I'm Dana, and today we're going to talk about how I'm too autistic to know if I'm physically okay or not, quite frankly. Because I had a doctor's appointment recently for the first time in quite a good chunk of time, because I've just not had the energy to deal with a doctor's, to be honest with you. It was before I moved, it was way before I moved, and I've only just gotten properly set up with the doctors and actually gone again. And as has happened many times in the past, I went with my little list of issues, and as I left, I remembered all the other issues that I intended to put on the list and forgot about. And it's one of those things where I feel so silly trying to talk about what is going on with me physically, because it's really hard to explain. It's really hard for me to understand what it even is. And that's where we're going to start, because I don't have a baseline of what is normal in someone's body. I've never ever felt like my body is normal or right, you know? As a kid, I was really scared of doing a lot of physical things, because I got badly hurt very easily. I was the first of my siblings to break a bone. My brothers are 8 and 9 years older than me, and they did mad shit all the time. They were constantly just doing physical stuff. And I broke my wrist falling off the fucking rope thing that they have on playgrounds onto the soft tarmac stuff. Just broke my wrist. I dropped a rounders bat once and it bent my little finger back and it just broke my finger. I tripped on a bit of rug once and broke 2 toes. I've always felt like my body's just sort of fragile and it breaks easily. And alongside that, I've just always had some sort of ache, some sort of pain, some sort of something going on within my body that was dismissed, and I was told I was just being silly or whatever else. So as a child, probably every 6 months or so, my mum would take me back to the doctors, because I would be refusing to do PE in school and just refusing to do physical things, because I was my knees and ankles and my hips, my legs hurt. And they'd be like, well, in what way do they hurt? And I'd be like, they hurt. I don't know how I'm supposed to describe a pain to you. It's inside my leg and it's painful. I don't have other words for it. I don't know what people are asking when they're asking what kind of pain it and things like that, you know? If someone asks me on a scale of 1 to 10, I can tell you right now it's a 6 or 7. Usually it's a 2 or 3. It's just sort of, it hurts and I can think about other things and I can focus on other things, but it's always there in the background. And other times I can't really focus on other things and think about other things, because it hurts, I'm in pain. And I've had this for forever. It's always been a thing. And when I tell doctors that, they're like, well, what did they say when you were a kid? And it's they told me it was growing pains. They told me it might be arthritis. They told me that I was just making a thing of it. They told me to lose weight. And that's a big one, is I was I think I was on the BMI scale of morbidly obese for the vast majority of my life, up until I was 21. So everything was just blamed on my weight, and I lost the weight. I've lost the weight. I'm now a healthy BMI range, and it still fucking hurts. And similarly, as someone who felt like my body was fragile and regularly had it damaged, the way in which I was injured often wasn't actually properly addressed. When I broke my little finger, and it's the one that still causes me issues. The woman over the road from us was a nurse, and my mum took me over there and she used a bandage and a pencil to do a little splint thing that I wore for a week and a half, until my parents were like, you can't do the dishes, take it off, you know? I'm convinced that I have some sort of spinal issue, because as a child I was on one of the fucking tree rope swings that you make as a kid, and as I went it just snapped and I fell straight onto my fucking coccyx bone. I had to have 4 people pretty much carry me home, and I spent 6 weeks sleeping on the couch because I could not physically lift my legs to walk up the stairs. I could not go upstairs. Even just walking around the house, I was just shuffling about, because I couldn't move my legs properly after landing on my coccyx bone. And after 6 weeks, I sort of got back to it and was more okay. And my parents just left it. I didn't see a doctor about that. There was no addressing of it, you know? And I feel that probably fucked something up in me. I feel like my body is not fucking right. And it's so difficult to explain to doctors, yeah, all of, half of it has been stuff the entire time. And the other half of it is I've had these injuries and things happen to me that were just never addressed or dealt with. And it's especially frustrating now, because doctors seem really reluctant to address it now and to deal with it now. And it's throughout my teen years, I was getting sent to like dance classes and stuff like that, and a lot of dance classes start with you doing sit-ups on the floor, and I just flat out refused. I don't know, I'm not doing it. And it was very much seen as like the fat girl doesn't want to do a sit-up, but it was, I can't lay flat on my back on the ground without my coccyx bone like digging into the ground in a way that is incredibly painful. Like the only time I've ever been listened to about that was when I went to some yoga classes, and I lay like over to one side, and they asked like, oh, are you doing that as an accommodation? I was like, yeah, my coccyx bone's like kind of fucked. And they were like, cool, okay, don't lay directly on your back, do one side or the other and switch it. So with all of that, I have no idea what like the baseline for a normal human body is. I don't know how my body is supposed to feel, and especially when there's the times that I'm like, I think something is like severely not right with my body, and I'm just told it's fine and to stop worrying essentially, and I'm like, but I am in pain and my body doesn't work properly, and I would like that to be addressed. But I can't explain all of the ways in which it's not working properly, you know? And it's also difficult because when I've put in my own my jaw's clicking again. See, it's things like this. And it's like, I understand that it's still doing it. I understand that my jaw clicking isn't the biggest issue, but it's like, it feels like every single part of my body has something, and I just don't get listened to. And due to that, I've then done my own research and asked other people that are experiencing health things like, hey, what's going on with you? Because like, I also have this, and this. And then when I go to doctors and I'm like, hey, I think it might be EDS. I think it might be this. I think I'm experiencing subluxations. They're like, oh, have you done a Google? Do you think you know what's going on? And it's like, no, my dude, I've been living like this for like 25 years. And I want to know what the fuck is going on so that I can do something to help. Because I did a full year of doing yoga every single morning and it did not work. I felt somewhat better, like mentally and more connected or whatever. Like it wasn't a bad thing for me to do, but it did not help my body. And I do fear that doing things like that consistently, when I don't know what's going on with my body and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing and I don't know what the baseline is, I'm going to be damaging myself repeatedly because I don't know any better. And like, this is really coming up as well because like, not only did I have my doctor's appointment, but I also, on Monday, I did my little fucking Halifax trip. And today's Thursday, and I'm probably going to have a bath for the third night in a row because my entire body still is in so much fucking pain from that. Like literally from like here down, everything hurts from doing like a 3-hour walk, you know? Like I don't want to call it a hike because it was like mostly like town. But like, you know, it was not that strenuous. You know, like I do pretty regular, like not walks as long as that, but I go for regular walks and I walk at like a quick pace and try to be healthy and whatever else. And it takes so little for me to feel like I've pushed myself way too far and be like, I need to like mentally and physically recover from not very much. And I don't feel like that's right, you know? Like, I've never had like a long-term job. All of my jobs have lasted a couple of days apart from one that I did for free because that's how it fucking goes, isn't it? It's when you're being taken advantage of, you can actually do the thing long-term. But they required me to stay standing like at all times. And I would get home and sit down and literally just like not be able to move. Like my joints would all lock. I was with my boyfriend at the time and I would have to be like, can you pull me up off the couch, please? Like I can't do a position switch on my own right now. Like I physically cannot do that. Because like my hips and my knees and my ankles and my shoulders all felt like they were just locked in place, and he would have to pull me up and it would like all click and you could hear it. And it was once I was up that I'd be like, okay, I can like move now. And sure, everything hurts and it's fucking exhausting just to move my body and everything feels so heavy, but I could do it then. But like, if I hadn't had someone there to like pull me off, I'd have had to just sleep on the couch and see how I was next morning. And similarly with the Halifax trip, like I walked up to Lightcliffe and then I was like, I'm going to have to get the bus back. Like, to be honest with you, it's a bit scary and quite intimidating. I don't fucking like it because I was like, I physically like, my feet and my legs just felt so fucking heavy and so achy and so painful that I was like, I physically can't do the walk back. Like I'm very convinced that if I'd tried to do the walk back, I'd have had to just sit down somewhere and like probably like, luckily the nice thing with the Halifax trips is my friend is there and I can be called to be picked up at any given moment. And I think that's why I didn't have like a full meltdown, was because I was like, I've got my backup plan. Like if it all really goes to shit, I'll be fine still. But like, if I had attempted the walk back, I think I would have had to just sit down somewhere eventually and phone my friend and be like, I'm really sorry, but you're gonna have to not only drive to where I am, but also a lot of the path to get back is through fields and trees and stuff. And I think I would have had to be like, you're gonna have to come and physically help me to get up and get back to the car. Like, that is the level of like pain and exhaustion that I had from like a 3-hour walk, you know? Like, I took it really slow. I was really like, really intense, like not intensely, oh my god, I don't know what word I was looking for. Another word for purposely. Like, really intently? Is that the word I'm looking for? It was very much on purpose that I was like, I'm going to take it slow and like focus on like taking time to put one foot in front of the other and look around me and take little breaks. Like, I really purposely was like, I know that my body doesn't really work in the way that I'm used to it fucking working lately. So I'm going to have to adjust what I do to work with that and take it slow. And I still had to get the bus. I was still like, shit, I can't do this. And like, I'd waited at the bus stop for a good little while as well, and then had to walk to a different bus stop. And it was one of those where like, usually once I've got going, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can carry on for a bit. But I was literally checking Google Maps every like 2 minutes on my way to this other bus stop, being like, am I gonna make it there? Like, I really liked the idea of getting the bus. I didn't want to have to call my friend to come and get me. And I was like, literally having to think like, I don't know if I'm making it to this other bus stop. Like, it's really lucky that I do have my friend here, because I don't know if I'm physically able to make it to the next place I want to walk to. I don't like that, you know? Like, it's making me very uncomfortable to talk about. And I'm not used to it, and I don't like it, and I want to know what the fuck is going on with my body so that I can try to care for it in the best way that I can, so that I can do things that I want to do, like go for my little fucking hike around Yorkshire, you know? But it's one of those things where it feels, I kind of feel like I've had to let it get to this point of severity to like acknowledge like, oh, this isn't normal. This isn't just what everyone else goes through. This isn't something that everyone else deals with. Like, this is something that is like unusual with my body that shouldn't be happening, you know? Like, when it's just been being in pain of some sort for my entire life, that's whatever. Like, everyone goes through that, right? Having it like actually physically affect what I'm able to do in a day, that I don't, you know, it's different. I don't like it. I think I am actually going to look into if I can get some physiotherapy, like pay for it myself, so that I can at least learn like some, because like I feel like they'd be able to tell me some level of what's going on with my body and figure out what it's actually able to do, so I can get some like exercises or something to help me out and to like strengthen things. I don't really know. Like, that's the thing, I don't know where to start with anything that I've got going on. Otherwise I would like start trying to work on it myself. I very much need a doctor to tell me what the fuck it is, so that I can try to like actually deal with it, because I don't know what's going on. And like, similarly with my autism diagnosis, as much as I can research and be like, I'm pretty sure this is it, I don't like process or accept it until I have someone who's a professional in that field tell me that's the case. And like, maybe it's something I should work on, but like, that's the way that I am. Like, I don't know anything, you know? Like, as much as I spout shit online and everything, I don't know anything. And I would like someone who does know things about the topic that I need to tell me it. I don't feel like that's unfair. I don't feel like that's that weird, you know? So yeah, that's the video. I'm gonna go now. If anyone does have any like tips and advice regarding all of this, I'd appreciate it, because I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, you know? Like, I keep going to doctors and trying my best to explain myself, and they're just like, too bad. And it's like, no, I'm increasingly struggling to exist as a person. So any advice would be much appreciated on this one. As always, if you wanted to like and subscribe, you can do. I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, and my Halifax vlog will be coming really soon. You can also follow me over on TikTok, Instagram or Blue Sky, and you can also find me over on Patreon or Ko-fi if you wanted to, but there's no pressure, you don't have to, it's all your own choice. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.